U.S. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke on Thursday ended a months-long review of 27 national monuments by saying he supports cutting the size of a handful of such sites around the country but declining to comment on whether 2 areas in New Mexico are among them. Zinke's decision not to release his recommendations cast further uncertainty over the status of nearly 750,000 acres in New Mexico. The Secretary's vague statements and the Interior Department's refusal to release his highly anticipated report stalled a long process that has riled conservationists, sportsmen and community leaders while winning support from others who have accused the federal government of overreach in managing public lands. Ordered in April by President Donald Trump, the review included large national monuments established by the past 3 administrations. Protected sites in New Mexico that Zinke reviewed were the Rio Grande del Norte near Taos and the Organ Mountains Desert Peaks near Las Cruces. Environmentalists said monument status is key to protecting New Mexico's most iconic landscapes and boosting the state's outdoor recreation industry. But ranchers and others who have long been wary of the federal government's handling of public lands backed the review, saying previous presidents used their power to throw red tape around the very areas where they make a living. Zinke told the Associated Press he is not proposing to eliminate any national monuments but is suggesting Trump reduce the size of some sites. He declined to detail his recommendations for any specific monuments. And the Secretary's office issued a 2-page summary of his report that did not mention any of the monuments by name. And when asked about the 2 monuments in New Mexico, the Interior Department's communications director, Laura Keener Rigas, referred the New Mexican to a statement by the Secretary that did not provide any information about the future of the areas. Instead, the statement tried to lessen fears that Zinke will propose privatizing public lands, assuring that the monuments will remain federal property whatever their status. The recommendations I sent to the President on national monuments will maintain federal ownership of all federal land and protect the land under federal environmental regulations, and also provide a much-needed change for the local communities who border and rely on these lands for hunting and fishing, economic development, traditional uses and recreation, Zinke said in the statement. U.S. Senator Tom Udall, a Democrat from New Mexico, said the announcement Thursday does not provide any real information to the public. This summary is not transparent, and this is not how our government should do business, Udall said. Zinke's comments didn't quiet conservationists, who responded by filing U.S. Freedom of Information Act requests for the report. They also criticized Zinke as acting disingenuously about a process billed as giving Americans a chance to give their ideas on the national monuments. It is a farce for him to claim this review is about public input, while hiding the recommendation he's made to President Trump on behalf of the American people, said Chris Seger, executive director of the Western Values Project, an advocacy group. The next steps in this process are unclear. Trump could try to redefine the boundaries of certain national monuments by issuing executive orders or by asking Congress to pass legislation. One route is legally impassable. The other is politically impossible, said Matt Lee Ashley, a fellow at the Liberal Center for American Progress. Advocacy groups and New Mexico Attorney General Hector Balderas have said they will take the president to court if he tries to change monuments in the state. Judy Coleman, a lawyer for the New Mexico Wilderness Alliance, pointed to a 1976 law known as the Federal Lands Policy and Management Act, saying it bars the Trump administration from modifying the monuments without approval from Congress. The president can designate national monuments. It doesn't say the president can take them away, she said. These advocates also say there is not political support on Capitol Hill for changing the sites. Conservationists fear the protected area in New Mexico that is most likely to be changed is the nearly 500,000-acre Organ Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument. Established by President Barack Obama in 2014, the monument stretches from the rock spires that dominate the Las Cruces skyline across the Chihuahuan Desert. Ranchers have raised concerns that monument status could interfere with their work, though monuments typically protect what are known as existing uses, such as grazing and ongoing oil and gas production. While there is little debate that the Organ Mountains should be protected, critics contend the monument is much larger than intended under the Antiquities Act, a 1906 law that gives presidents the power to grant protections for landmarks and sensitive